We are suddenly in Brindisi, Italy, southern Italy, on the west coast, on the Adriatic side. Around 1963, this is a photographic auto trip throughout the city. A friend of mine offered to drive me around. Brindisi is a port city, very large port. The little white car in front of us is a Fiat 500, one of the smallest of the Italian cars. This is a view of the Adriatic itself along the coast. This is a view coming out of the Air Force Base, as quick as it was. Typical means of transportation back at that time, transporting some kind of vegetation there. Little kids having a good time. Watch out for that motor scooter there. Caught some of the windshield wiper. I'm sure somebody's going to comment about that. This is not a single lens reflex camera. You can't really exactly know what you're photographing even though you're looking through the lens. This is a part of the port. Quite a large monument here looking like a rudder. I've got pictures of it later. A monument to see seafarers, sailors. What you see now is a photojournalistic shot of me on my motor scooter, taken by Sam Solomon, my roommate in Brindisi. Sam's from Waycross, Georgia, a true Southerner. He'd call me a damn Yankee. I was the damn Yankee. And we were obligated to wear helmets then if we wanted to ride our scooters. About winter 1963. Look at me, Sam. Doing all 20, 25 miles an hour. Discharged, the brother was killed on a motorcycle accident. And the mother, ironically, happened to be driving behind. She saw her own son die. Actually, this is in the direction of the beach where GIs enjoyed clear water, nice white sand. Roger Mumbauer, he and I are on this single motor scooter trip take a picture of the Adriatic. This is a beach scene. Bathhouses there. Privately owned villas there to the left, I suppose. Looking out over the Adriatic. Cold. It's cold now. We're in the city of Brindisi again with Roger, continuing the motor scooter trip. This is a pan of the port. A close-up shot of the monument shaped like a rudder. That's me there, giving directions as usual. Roger, have no idea what he's saying. 8mm did not have sound at that time. Another little tour through Brindisi. In Italian, it was called Brindisi. La città di Brindisi. The city of Brindisi. Check this out here. This was a shock to me. Here it comes. The hammer and sickle. This was the headquarters for the local Communist Party. And this hotel was a favorite meeting place for my friends and I and one or two particular young ladies. Oh, I caught these three gals coming up the street. As soon as they saw me, they turned around. But this one doesn't seem to object. We're back on the base again. That's me, Airman Second Class Wade, in the middle. A friend of mine to the left. His name is Paul. Paul was later injured, seriously injured in an accident. This is Tom Reynolds, the brother of Marianne Reynolds, whom you saw earlier. I'm wearing my Ike jacket and my Eisenhower jacket, which was still permitted. That's Bill Guy, the guy on the right-hand side, a real skinny guy smoking a cigarette. Staff Sergeant guy on the right, that's Larry Detterman. There's Tom Reynolds again, taking pictures in the back. I'm pointing to him and I'm saying, this is my boss. This is my boss. Wasn't very nice. This American fellow agreed to take me on a trip. This is leaving the then guard shack, manned by an air policeman, an American air policeman, and an Italian interpreter at that time. Again, a little trip, motor trip through Brindisi in this fellow's little blue convertible. Now this is Mark Hasselberger on the left, Jimmy C. Griffin on the right. Jimmy was my roommate. The three of us are on a photo walk near the base. 6917th RGM. This is a historical sign, folks. It's not that way anymore. The RGM designation has changed. It's now, I think, called a security group. It's a much larger base. When I was there were perhaps 700 people stationed. Very few dependents, wives, very few. This is looking again towards the Adriatic. It's warm, it's summer. Caught these gentlemen out there chopping wood. Here we are doing a little drill. I think Jimmy's doing the calling. And here's me and Mark Hasselberger. Of course, I'm doing the calling. Gotta love that shirt sticking out. Some high-speed transport with the FLR9 in the background. Sticks out like a swollen thumb. There we go, squeezing each other again. Disgusting. This guy seemed real pleased. Ugh. Here we are, just outside of the base, looking at that huge antenna sticking up. Hey, look at me balance myself. Now this is a truck. This is also a mini truck. It's actually a motor scooter with a body on it, making it into a mini truck. This is the around the summer of 1963. A get-together with some friends of mine and me and a German family called the Scher family. This is along the West Coast. What we have here is I get together with Ursula, the pretty one. Ursula's father and mother right there. That's Ursula on the right, and I do not remember the name of the girl in the blue, except that she had a very harsh sounding feminine name. Ursula was also there with her brother Hermann, whom you'll see here shortly with a captured eel. Somebody had brought in, a diver perhaps, had brought in a long eel. The father, Mr. Herr Scher, was the director of a very large cement producing factory near Frankfurt. That's Hermann right there. He told me a number of years later in a reunion that he had become a ladies' man. That's Bill Coker on the right. You saw him earlier looking out of a train window. And Ursula. There's Ursula. This is the reason I think why I fell in love with the German language. My motivation to study German began right here with this family. I fell in love with the German language listening to these people talk. That's Ursula, of course, doing some homework, writing a letter. Ursula's mom, very nice lady. They spoke English. Ursula spoke good English, her brother did. Bill Coker again. Sam Solomon waking up from a little nap. It was a weekend. That's Ursula and I tasting something. Nice family. Drove a big, beautiful Mercedes-Benz. I felt like a king sitting in the back of that car. We switch now to our own beach along the Adriatic. That's the GI's beach. Not far from our base. One of my friends, Bill, one of the wives. A very nice major, real good guy. And then comes this white-suited bathing beauty. When this gal walked on the beach, nobody could keep his eyes off of her. Nobody. She didn't even object to all the footage I took of her. Not one objection. And I never said one word to her either. I wonder what some of these people look like today. A couple of days later, maybe the next day, there she is again, this time with a different colored bathing suit. Some of my buddies from the base. Another one of my buddies. Can't remember his name though. Didn't want to be photographed. There's Dan. I can only remember Dan. Dan played the guitar. Friendly guy. Outgoing. There's my sweetheart again, I guess. Hello, Dan. Dan had a good voice too. This is a scene on the base. My motor scooter, for some reason, had a flat tire. I filmed, and they fixed. Sam smoking his cigarette on his own motorcycle. He had a motorcycle by that time. No more scooters. He wore this helmet that was an Air Force jet pilot's helmet. He looked really funny. He was rather small, and this huge helmet sitting on his head made him look like a big